The thing about the two-tier policing system in the UK is the fact that the only reason why it exists is because of the horrendous integration policies that we've had in the UK for the past decades now. It's been a long while with these horrendous politics, or policies rather. The people that are committing these crimes are simply as second or third generation immigrants. They don't have any actual cultural ties to the country. They don't have the view that they are actually British. They're just simply there. They think or feel that the police doesn't represent them. They just view them as people with guns, or at least people with authority over them. They don't have guns anymore in the UK apparently. But it really just creates this problem where now the majority of people are technically the minority of the country. In a lot of these cities, I believe Birmingham, Manchester, London has what, a English native population of what, 35-37%. That is a very bad number if you want to be represented in actual politics, especially in London. So what we're seeing here is the fact that if you incite violence over the fact that these immigrants cannot integrate or simply just commit murders and everything, you are a very big problem for the government. Simply because if the minority, being the native population, is rioting about the actual minority population in the country, or simply the majority of the city, which is a minority in the country, which is really paradoxical, they will also riot or simply just cause unrest. Now the police cannot actually do anything about this. It is too much to handle. So what they're going to do is that the minority, being the native population, is going to be, they are the ones that are going to feel the harsh laws, or simply as extreme policing, because they are an actual threat to the nation, or simply to the authority. Simply put it, the authority that they will use against the native population is a lot harsher than the ones, or the authority that will be used on the minority people, or the majority non-native. The reasoning for this is because if the native population cowers in fear, they will not have any, they will not simply cause unrest or simply talk about this anymore. Meaning the actual non-native majority will simply just take over and thus become the absolute majority. The implications of this we can see in the two-tier policing system with the riots that was in the UK. And what is currently going on is very interesting. So these people are getting locked up, and the sentences are a lot harsher on the native population than it is on non-native population or non-native people. So we can clearly see here in this clip.
You have been committed for sentence, having pleaded guilty to an offence of publishing written material which is threatening, abusive, or insulting.
So basically what this judge here is saying, that this native has been saying some bad things online, which warrants his very harsh sentence. I don't know if he actually talks about how long it
intending
is.
thereby to stir up racial hatred. The context of your offending is that it arises out of the civil unrest and disorder in many parts of the second. You can surcharge will apply, and I will make a collection order.
I don't know how long the sentence was, maybe 20 months, 26 months or something. It's a very harsh sentence of what they did. But yet again, I want to show you this other post from X. Or rather, this is a post of the Daily Mail just posted on X. Agony for mother who of teen killed in a machete attack after learning one of his killers will be released after just 6 months due to prison overcrowding under new labor scheme. This is what happens when you have such bad politics, or simply just policies. 20 months in prison for a social media post, 6 months for killing a teen with a machete. These people here, they're keen to rioting when something doesn't go their way. And when the native population speaks up about this, they will start rioting, and they will cause a chain reaction of both parties rioting, and the police cannot do anything about that. So in order to make the native population cower in fear and not speak up about any of this, they will simply give very harsh sentences and just to make a statement that if you talk about this or simply incite violence against the non-native population, the minority, the absolute majority in a lot of these cities, is that you will have severe punishments, and arrests will happen to anyone inciting violence online or just simply speaking about it online, and thus getting sentences such as 20 months in prison. Because this is the priority here. The native population needs to be subdued, and they need to fear the government. These people, however, the non-natives, they cannot do anything about them because they will soon become the absolute majority. So these riots wouldn't actually happen, and not in the same way, at least, not in the same extent. You have to subdue the people causing the riots about what is currently going on with the minority population of the country. And once that is done, and the population is, or simply if the natives of a city is just completely disappeared and is just 100% non-native or new native, I guess, in the city, then it will be a lot more peaceful. Because this is what happens when integration policies have failed so incredibly hard in the last, I don't know, 4 decades now, probably. This is what happens. This is just one example. There are several of them where these people, the non-natives, they have these punishments that are not as severe, but as soon as you speak up about it, you will have very severe punishments or sentences. I think I'll just leave it there. I think my point across has been, I think I've given or gotten my point across, right? Next video is coming up tomorrow. Leave a like, subscribe, share this, and I'll leave it there.